Boss fired single mom for being late. The next day, Karma walked into his office. What would you do if your heartless boss fired you just because you were late once, even though you were a single mom struggling to raise your kid? But what if the very next day, Karma showed up at his door and turned his world upside down? Stick around till the end. This story will shock you and make you believe that karma never forgets. Before we begin, like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our inspiring stories. Sarah Miller, a 32-year-old single mom, worked as a receptionist at Turner & Company, a big corporate firm. Every day she woke up at 5 a.m., prepared breakfast, got her 7-year-old son Liam ready for school and rushed to work. One rainy Tuesday, her bus broke down. She grabbed a taxi but still arrived 15 minutes late. As soon as she stepped into the office, her boss, Richard Turner, called her into his glass-walled office. "No excuses, Sarah," Richard said coldly. "If you can't show up on time, you're useless to this company." "You're fired," Sarah's eyes welled up. "Please, I'm a single mom. I've worked here for 4 years. This has never happened before," Richard smirked. "Not my problem." She walked out of the office holding a cardboard box of her things, humiliated, broke, and terrified of what came next. Sarah spent the night crying, wondering how she would pay rent and feed Liam. Her savings were almost gone. Meanwhile, Richard bragged about keeping discipline to his managers. He didn't care about Sarah's struggles. To him, she was just another employee. But the next morning, when Richard arrived at the office, something unusual happened. 2 men in dark suits were waiting at the reception. They introduced themselves as federal auditors from the Department of Labor. "Mr. Turner," one of them said, "we need to review your company's employment records and wage reports." Richard frowned. "Why?" "We're a legitimate business," the auditor replied firmly. "We received multiple complaints about unpaid overtime, illegal terminations, and labor violations." Richard's face went pale. He quickly realized his tough boss act was finally catching up to him, and this was just the beginning. The auditors went through files, computers, and emails. By noon, they uncovered years of unethical practices, unpaid bonuses, tax evasion, and illegal layoffs. One auditor turned to Richard and said, "This could lead to heavy fines and possible criminal charges." As panic spread in the office, one employee whispered, "Karma's real. Richard's going down." To make matters worse, Richard's biggest client, a $1 million contract, called to cancel their deal after hearing about the investigation. His company's stock started dropping within hours. Sitting in his office, Richard ran his hand through his hair, trembling. Everything he built was crumbling. And then, in a twist of fate, the auditors revealed who filed the first complaint that triggered the investigation. It wasn't Sarah. It was another single mom he fired last year. Richard finally understood. Karma keeps receipts. By the end of the week, Turner & Company was facing millions in penalties. Richard was forced to step down as CEO and face possible jail time. Meanwhile, Sarah received an unexpected phone call from the auditors. "Miss Miller," one said kindly, "we've reviewed your termination. It violated multiple labor laws. You're entitled to $45,000 in compensation and benefits." Sarah gasped, tears streaming down her face. That money meant security for her and Liam. A month later, Sarah landed a better job at a new firm, one that valued her skills and respected her as a person. As for Richard, he was seen leaving the building with a box of his belongings, the same way Sarah had walked out just a day before. The difference? Sarah walked out with dignity. Richard walked out with karma, because in life, what you give always comes back.